Hello and welcome back to the Lamenters Season 2. In the last episode, the group had made it through the mountains, following a stream to the east that terminated into a pond. And then you guys proceeded to travel for the better part of a whole day to a hilly region. And you still aren't really sure where you are, but you found a hill that had a relatively flat top and 3 trees. And that is where you chose to make camp. So that is where we're going to pick up. It is nighttime. So the first question is, what does your camp look like? Do you have a fire going? And then who's sleeping and who's staying up on watch?
I'll take the first watch.
I'd like last watch.
I'll take
I'll
the
like
watch
first.
with you.
I'll do watch with Bane on the second one.
Okay, so I will go for the third watch.
Okay, so first watch is going to be Sarah and who else?
Me.
Okay, so Bivoj and Sarah. What are you guys doing for a fire? It is, I should remind you that it has cooled down quite a bit. So it's at nighttime it gets cooler. Those of you who are in bedrolls, you're fine. But what are the two people on watch doing in terms of a fire, or are you not having a fire?
I think we can have a small fire.
Yeah. Not like a big campfire, but maybe something small to keep us warm. And not to gather too much attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to have my torches at the ready in case we need them.
Yeah. Torches. Mine as well. I'll leave them beside me. My bow prepared. My spear on the other side, just in case.
All right. So you guys are at the hilltop. The rest of you are in your bedrolls, and you have fallen asleep. An hour goes by, and then another hour goes by. And I would like Bivoj to make roll a d20 for me and just tell me what the flat result is.
Okay, 18.
Okay. And Sarah make a d20 roll.
Lowell, quiet. Okay, that's a 13.
Okay, 13 it is. So you both have a very uneventful watch. It is cooling down. It's windy, progressively that is, but you pass by 3 hours relatively uneventfully. Occasionally you do hear the distant sounds of nocturnal creatures like weird birds and stuff. And you even hear like the howling of wolves, but it seems to be very far away.
During my watch, I used this opportunity to take my spyglass and, like, in between the trees, if there is any glimpse of free terrain, I'll try to search for any kind of lights or any kind of signs of civilization.
You don't have much visibility. The moon it's overcast, as it has been for the days that you have been awake, and there's not a whole lot of moonlight. So your visibility is pretty much just within your campfire.
Yeah, I was hoping for some other fire or maybe some small village in the distance.
Yeah, you don't see anything in any of the directions that you look all the way around from the hilltop.
Okay, we're lost.
So 3 hours go by. Bivoj and Sarah, you wake up the next group, which is Bane and Oldrad. Okay, so the firewood supply is almost out. What do you guys want to do? You might be muted, Oldrad.
Did we notice that there's any like wooded by the hilltop, or is it like a barren hill?
Well, I would have assumed that you would have kind of gathered whatever was around.
Mm-hmm.
But you basically the first shift burned through that.
Right.
There are dips and valleys and little other hills and trees around that you, if you lit a torch, you could probably go out there and find stuff.
Yeah. I'll go gather some firewood, Bane, and I grab one of my torches and, go find some.
Okay.
Holding my axe.
All right.
Looking around.
As about a half an hour goes by into the second watch, Oldrad, you were able to find a few limbs that were fallen next to some of the trees, kind of down the hill. You gather those up. They seem to be dry enough to be able to burn. So you guys start snapping those up and maybe chopping them up, and you get your fire going. Each one of you roll a d20 and just tell me what the result is.
15.
11.
Okay. About 2 hours into your watch. So I'm going to say maybe just around midnight. Bane, you hear some movement that sounds like it's coming from the north of where the hill is, but kind of down the hill and maybe in one of the little lower parts between the hills.
Oldrad, eyes up. I hear something moving in the woods.
I get my short bow ready and my battle axe is hanging at my side.
Okay. And just like the other group, you have about enough visibility from your small fire to see just the flat hilltop that you're on. You can't really see down into the valley without going down there with some kind of torch. You don't hear any sound after that initial sound, Bane.
Could I decipher if it was it ruffling, crunching? Could I tell how much weight was?
It sounded like something moving around. Like you heard like
scurrying.
More like when bushes kind of get moved around, like the clattering of branches and leaves.
Okay, I'll light a torch on the fire and walk to the edge of our current visibility and look towards the sound.
Okay.
Covering him with my bow.
It remains silent. Each of you make another d20 roll.
11.
13.
Okay. I need one of you to roll a d8. And
Go
just
ahead.
tell me what the result is.
Okay, I got you. 7.
Okay. Behind you, back by your camp, you hear Claude's dog start to growl.
Good dog. Come, little one.
Claude is asleep, but you see Critter, and Critter's like crouched, and he's growling, but he's facing south.
I turn in that direction, bow half drawn, and I move to the closest person, and I kick him awake. Not like roughly, but a good kick to wake whoever it is close to me.
I'll say that Havardr is close to you. Havardr, you awaken to like a kick in your shoulder.
Can I see?
You see from your campfire that Oldrad is facing another side of the camp. You're not really sure which direction you're in because you were kind of in a sleep.
I can tell he has his bow drawn.
He
So I'll
does.
get up.
And you also see Bane holding a torch in one hand and his axe in the other. He's looking out in the other direction. And you also hear Critter growling.
So, I say, Bane, I got something over here, and then Havardr, there's something out there. Don't know yet. And I'm just keeping an eye out.
I'll grab my weapons.
Okay, Havardr, you grab your weapons. Do you wear armor?
I do. Chainmail.
Okay, your chainmail is neatly folded right by your bedroll.
I'm not going to have time to put that on, so I'm just going to leave it.
All right. So the three of you are awake. Critter creeps forward away from Claude's bedroll towards the southern end of the hilltop, and he continues to growl.
I start edging that way with the bow drawn.
Okay. You make it over to the edge of that hilltop, and you're standing kind of right next to Critter right now. Mm-hmm. He is looking down the hill, kind of into the darkness.
Yeah. I call over the Havardr.
From the faint moonlight, you see like some scrub brush, and then maybe like 100 feet down the hill, you see like a tree, and then some more bushes.
Yeah. Just the outlines, because I imagine it's really dark.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very dark.
Yeah. Havardr, grab a torch. There should be one by the fire.
I'll go grab a torch and draw my sword.
Okay.
Get on the other side of Oldrad.
Bane, are you still by the north side, or do you head over to the south side where Oldrad and Havardr are?
Yeah, I've worked my way around. I've got my torch in one hand and battle axe in the other.
Okay, so the three of you are looking down there. Critter stops growling, and he kind of stands up. And you see his ears kind of pop up.
What is it, boy?
Critter. What is it, boy? What do you hear?
He doesn't seem to respond to you.
I'm going to go kick Claude awake.
Okay. Claude, you awaken to a kick in the shoulder.
Oi.
You see by the campfire that three of your comrades are standing. Havardr in his clothes with a torch and a sword. And you see Critter kind of standing by the edge of the hill near them. And he seems to be in a posture that shows that he's alert. His ears are perked.
There's something circling the camp somewhere. Critter was growling, and now he's somewhat calmed down, but very alert.
Okay. I'm getting out of my bedroll and grab my... just take my two-hander out of the sheath.
Okay.
And walk out to Critter and... Okay, boy, show us what you got, and start going downhill. Who's following?
I'll come with him.
Okay, so you...
In my PJs.
No, that's good. I need you to make a charisma roll under.
Ooh, made it by 1 point. 11 against 12.
You sense that your dog is a little bit reluctant, but like when you start walking down, he paces with you, but he doesn't like tear ass down there as if he was going to investigate it. He's walking with you, and as you guys
I didn't say sick him, so
yeah, as you guys are starting to walk down there, you see that he's kind of walking in sort of a careful kind of approach. His ears are perked. And from the light behind you that Havardr has, he's carrying the torch, you see it looks like this part of the hill descends about 60 feet and then levels out, and then there's kind of a short ravine.
Okay.
Do you guys
I'm gonna...
like go down the hill.
I'm gonna swap out my short bow for my axe and grab a torch and follow.
Okay.
I'm going as far as Claude.
All right, so Havardr, Claude, and Critter start the descent. And it's rocky, it's a little slippery, so you kind of have to walk carefully. And then Oldrad, are you following behind them with your torch?
Yeah. I
Right,
would suggest to Bane that he keep at the camp just in case something comes up behind.
I'll wait here.
Okay.
If you need me.
So here's what I want. I want Claude and Havardr to make a D20 roll.
High or low?
14.
That's another 11.
Okay. And then you're going up behind them, Oldrad, so I need you to make a roll.
14.
Okay. So you're kind of walking behind them. You have the advantage of seeing a little more. You have Havardr's torch, and you see some movement further down near the scrub brush and the bushes and the tall grass by the ravine. So you're about 60 feet down the hill to where it like levels out in this little valley, but then another 40 feet away you see movement as if something was moving away from you guys.
I give a sharp whistle. Over here. Something's moving away.
At that point, Critter growls.
Yeah. I give that whistle and I point out, over here. Something's moving away. And I move towards that direction with my torch.
Okay. I'll follow Oldrad.
Okay. Claude?
Yep, following.
Okay.
Gingerly on my barefoot feet.
Critter is by your side. Bane, I need you to make a D20 roll.
$14.
Okay, roll a D4 for me.
One.
Okay. You hear like your comrades down the hill, and you hear like a whistle, but you can't see what they're doing because you're on the other, like, unless you're by that side, you see their torches continuing to descend. Like, you can see their torches, you could see them, but you can't see what they're going towards because it's still too far away. But you heard one of them whistle.
I wake up whoever's closest to me.
Take your pick between Liber, Leonard, Bivoj, or Sarah.
Okay, I'll wake Liber.
Okay, Liber's pretty close to you. You walk over towards him.
Nudge him. Wake up. Liber. There's noise outside of the camp. I need to go down, and I need you to wake up to make sure nothing comes to camp.
Liber,
and
make
wake someone else up as well.
Make a D20 roll.
4.
Oh. All right, so you are awoken by Bane, and you're kind of like disoriented. You're pretty deep in sleep. Bane wakes you up, and you hear him talking to you about something, and he's like holding a torch, and he seems to be like kind of looking past you down the hill. But your campfire is flickering, and you see light, on the hilltop. You see some movement kind of across from where you're sleeping, right in your camp. Something small is moving around, kind of by Bivoj.
And Bane's still right next to me?
Bane's looking down at you, but like behind Bane. Imagine like you're in your bedroll, you're looking up at Bane, but then like out of the corner of your eye, just past the fire on the other side of your camp, you see some movement over by Bivoj.
I'm gonna yell to Bane, there's something over by Bivoj, and try to get out of my sleeping roll as fast as I can to grab my rapier.
I'd turn with the torch to shine it over by Bivoj.
You turn and you see a small humanoid looking creature, but with strange features. You see its features are sort of like, kind of has like a snout, and it has like hair and sort of like pointy ears. It has like kind of a long snout, but it has a more or less humanoid body with arms and legs, but it's crouched over. And you see it grabbing something, and it starts to take off down the hill.
I grab my bow, drop the axe, grab my bow, and aim it at it. But not a fatal kill. Trying to get him in the butt.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll.
17, 23.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Six.
You hear a yelp, but you see the thing continue to run down the hill. And it's moving fast. And it clearly took something from Bivoj. It is moving fast. You didn't see it wearing any like armor or wielding weapons or carrying anything other than what it took from Bivoj.
All right. Is it dripping blood that I can see?
No, because it's like 30 feet away.
Okay.
You see, like, just from the bare... Actually, you couldn't carry your torch and fire a bow at the same time, so you don't see it.
No, I can't see anything.
You heard it. You heard your arrow strike true, and you heard a yelp.
All right, I'm going to drop my bow and arrow at the camp, pick up my axe again, and the torch, and pursue it.
Okay. Smash cut back to the valley floor. Oldrad, Havardr, Claude, and Critter. You guys have come to this dense section of scrub brush and bushes, and you hear like the slight trickling of water from a very like small little ravine.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear any movement. Critter is looking to the east, like kind of following the ravine in these bushes, and he's growling.
Okay, Critter give chase, and hopefully he knows that come on to run after whatever it is he's tracking.
He starts barking, and then he just takes off into the bushes and the scrub brush. You guys follow?
I will run after him.
Okay.
Yep.
As you guys start running, the dog barks and starts running. You hear movement up ahead, like as if whatever he sensed is now trying to run away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hopefully he flushes him out towards us, or flushes it.
I need... Claude, I need you to make an attack roll for Critter.
So 14, let's see, what was it again? +1, so 15.
Okay, that's good. Roll me a d4.
That's 3 + 1 is 4 points.
Okay, you hear like a screech of pain, and the dog's growling, and you guys see that like up ahead about 25 feet away, there's a lot of movement in the bushes, as if maybe Critter got to whatever was there, and there's some struggle going on.
Run up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, Claude, I need you to make another roll for me. Roll a d20.
Less than that 20.
Oh no, that's not good. How many hit points does Critter have?
Good question. Don't think we talked about that one. I haven't noted it.
I'll tell you.
It's not enough.
Critter has 9 hit points, and he just took 8.
Ouch.
You hear your dog screech in pain. And you hear another kind of snarl, but it's not your dog's snarl. As you guys run up, Havardr has a torch and Oldrad has a torch. You see like blood splatter, and you see Critter back out of these bushes, and you see an enormous gash like across his back and shoulder, and he's limped out of the bushes. But you notice that in his mouth is like a chunk of flesh and fur. Not his own fur, something else. And you hear movement continuing away from you guys.
Okay. Guys, you got to keep going. I'm going to take care of Critter.
I will say something. You could blind fire into the brush if those of you with ranged weapons, if you want. But I don't
have
drop my torch.
Yeah, I don't have mine anymore.
Okay.
No.
So I
I'm
need
just
to know
leaving my-
what. So Claude, you're gonna stay and tend to your dog. Havardr and Oldrad, you're
Giving chase.
Let's get it.
okay. We're gonna make contested rolls of movement. So, give me dexterity roll under.
Dex roller. Okay, my dex.
Oh, wait,
This
that's
is
not-
degrees
This
of
is gonna be so hard.
Yeah, I got 4.
nice.
My dex is 17, so
Natural 20.
Okay. Havardr, being unencumbered by your armor, you just start running like towards the sound as of what you perceive as running away from you. And you see at this moment between two clumps of like tall grass and bushes, you see this short, maybe 3 foot tall, humanoid but also animalistic looking creature kind of try to jump away from you. You have caught up to it, so we need to have an initiative roll. Roll a d6 for me.
4.
All right, you see your moment. You have your torch, you have your axe. This thing's jumping, trying to get away from you, jumping from like one clump of bushes to another. And you notice that there's blood on its side. Like a chunk of it was taken out.
I'm gonna be like, for Critter, and like do a stab.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
14. 9 plus 5.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
46. 5.
Ooh. Okay. You slash into this thing, and it drops. It doesn't seem dead, but it screeches in pain. And as you come closer to it now, like you're right over it, your sword, just having slashed into it, you notice that this small humanoid creature appears to have like kind of a humanish head and body, but it's very slight, and it has like a snout, and it has a light fur that goes over its entire face and body. And it almost looks like a person and a rat. It just has kind of pointy features and sort of like an elongated mouth or snout. And it has a long, hairless tail. And it falls below you, and it's kind of looking up at you when you have your torch and your sword over it, and you could see that it's still alive, and it looks like it's terrified of you.
Do I catch up?
You do.
I'll at least hold it until Oldrad gets there. Wait for a group decision here.
All right. It's trying to crawl away. How do you want to hold it?
I get there. I see this weird creature. I holster like my battle axe has a ring on the very end, and I just have a hook on my belt, and I hook it on there, and I just grab it by the neck.
Okay. Your strength far supersedes it. You hold it in place. It's snarling at you, but you have it in place.
Mm-hmm.
Smash cut. Back to Bane. Bane, you said you're taking off after this thing.
I'm not running recklessly. I'm trying to find. I'm running about 30 yards out, trying to find blood splatter, trying to find a trail.
Roll a d6. And then Liber, you're up on deck.
1.
All right. You have your torch and your axe. You drop your bow. You run down the hill. When you get about 40 feet down the hill, you see a patch of blood. And it seems to be going north.
All right, if I can track it, I can find it. I can go back to camp and wait for the party to get back together.
Is that what you're going to do?
I'm going to mark the spot where I found the blood and return to camp.
Okay. Liber, you are awake and, again, a little bit disoriented. You see that, like, Sarah and Bivoj and Leonard seem to still be asleep, and the others are gone.
Okay. Did my yell wake anybody up?
Yes. So you yell out. Sarah, Bivoj, and Leonard, you guys awaken suddenly to like a yell from Liber.
What?
Right. Everyone up, something's at the camp, and I'm going to take off after Bane.
Okay. You guys wake up to complete abandonment of your camp. No one else is there. There is a campfire. You see everybody's bedrolls. Bivoj, you wake up and your backpack is gone.
Mother cracker! Where's my stuff? I light up the torch and I search wherever they go.
Okay, you guys that are waking up, you're rousing. Liber, you're awake. You see that the hilltop camp seems to be intact. You hear weird sounds kind of from the south, like down the hill. Not really sure what that's all about. Claude, what are you doing with your dog? He can't walk.
I'm going to be carrying him back up to the hilltop.
Okay, so a few moments later, Liber, Sarah, Bivoj, and Leonard, you see Claude come up over the crest of the hill from the south side of the hill in this epic moment in his pajamas, carrying his dog who's bleeding heavily and whimpering.
Well, by this time I have my boots on and I'm on Overwatch. So
Okay.
I just say, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I'm going to go over to the campfire, put Claire down, and say to Sarah, "Could you grab my bedroll and my stuff and
Sure,
bring it over here?"
sure, I'll grab it.
And then when she's back with the bedroll, I'll try to wrap him in it and see if I can help dress the wound by basically wrapping him up.
Okay. Make a wisdom roll under.
6 against 6.
You do your best.
I'd help, but I just want to guard the place here.
A few moments after that, Bane appears from the north side of the hill. Torch and axe.
I say to Bivoj, I tagged a creature that stole something from you, and I found his trail in the woods. But we have to get our party back together. Somewhere in the south.
Yeah.
Guy,
point me the way. This is the opportunity for the hunter.
You will get your chance, my friend. Just a moment. We need to go together. I don't know how many there are.
They took my stuff. Everything.
Critter found one down below, and he managed to bite it. Got a good chunk, but he got hammered in the process. And the other two are giving chase.
Was that the same creature?
Oldrad, you and Havardr have this thing on lock.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's snarling at you, but it seems very wounded between being stabbed heavily by Havardr and bitten by the dog.
My old gnarled hands just keep a vice-like grip on its neck, and I start to drag it towards camp.
Okay. You guys start going back up the hill. Liber, you hear sounds and you see Havardr by their torchlight. You see Havardr and Oldrad coming back up the hill towards you guys. And you see Oldrad is dragging something that's moving around.
Do I recognize it as what I saw before?
It doesn't look like exactly the same one, but it looks like the same species.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys got him? Great.
Your dog is in too much pain, but his whimpering kind of subsides as you try to calm him. And as Oldrad and Havardr come up the rise and come onto the campsite, you see, all of you now see that Oldrad is carrying one of these things, and it's kind of seems like very wounded, just covered in blood. The dog growled with it.
Do you speak, foul beast?
It looks at you, Oldrad. You're still holding it by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah.
It looks at you guys all. Its eyes seem terrified. And it's kind of looking at all of you. And then when Bane talks to it looks at him curiously.
I take a little chunk of the dried bear meat and give it to him.
It looks at you see its eyes dart over to the dog.
It wants to eat the dog.
At this point, let's do a party intelligence roll under. Go ahead.
This is on a 20-sider?
Yeah, all I need to know is if you made it under your intelligence.
I sure did not.
Nope.
Yes,
I did.
No.
Yes.
That's 5. 1 under. Ah.
Those of you who made it under, as you are looking at this creature who is in a vice lock provided by Oldrad, you have this memory of hearing about a species of the low people, which are called the Patkani. Though none of you have ever encountered them, you have this recollection that these are kind of like rat people, basically. That they're part of the low people, and very bestial in nature.
Well, this looks like a pet Connie. Kind of a...
When you say that out loud, it looks at you.
Hey there, fella. You hungry?
Did any of you who succeeded roll a 1 through 5?
I got a 4.
Okay, Bivoj and Bane, it occurs to you that from your very limited knowledge of these types of low people, that they're not particularly verbal, but that there's a chance that they speak the common tongue of the low people, and that is the tongue of the Ordur.
Do any of us know any Ordur?
Well, this is a critical time to consider something, friends. In this game, there is a thing for languages, wherein if you are intelligent, you have the ability, if you don't have a penalty to your intelligence modifier, you are literate in the common tongue. However, some people may have additional languages based on your intelligence. Do any of you have any additional languages?
How do we know that?
It would basically be either if you were a specialist and you chose languages, that would only be one of you. So Leonard, did you put any pips into language?
No.
Okay. Or if you have a particularly high intelligence, where you would have a
I actually put one. My bad. I'm correcting my sheet.
Okay, so you do have one. All right, Leonard, you have learned Ordur, not fluently, but I say from a survival perspective. You have a very basic grasp of Ordur vocabulary, and you feel like this thing might be able to understand you if you try to speak to it in Ordur.
I try to I clean up my eyes and try to think, and after about a little bit I try to put together like words for what are you doing here?
Okay, you guys notice when Leonard says this, he begins speaking to this thing in a very strange kind of guttural language. And the creature looks at him almost like in shock. And it kind of like it stops like twisting around and trying to resist Oldrad. And then it responds to him. And to you guys, you hear it say, Vraskita Bokak Raki. And Leonard, you believe that you translate this statement as why warband here?
I turn to my colleagues. I think it's just curious and good here, and then I turn them to it. I don't think we are proper warband, but
ask them why they took my stuff.
Yeah. Why did you take his stuff?
It says we take from people.
Well, this
I
is
think
going.
a step back will spare its lives, their lives.
I don't think it lies. It just sees us as other resource which was easy to grab. So I wouldn't think that's a lie.
Sarah, and then Bane.
While this is going on, I'll put my bow down and quietly walk around to my length of rope and quietly walk behind the creature and make a head movement to Bane so that maybe he can, whoever's holding him can hold out his arms.
Okay. All right. So Oldrad actually holds him, and you bind him. All right, Bane.
Yeah, just his wrists.
This is
gently.
Can we assume that Leonard is relaying to us what the creature is saying?
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So Leonard relays what the creature's communicated as well as his own insights.
So I tell Leonard. He thinks we're a war band, but we were brought here against our will, perhaps, and we are not even sure what we are doing here. We can't be a war band or whatever. He thinks we're some type of warmongers.
Yeah, he probably sees just a group of people, and he probably hasn't seen other people in warbands. Also, we kind of look like one when you look around the armor, the weapons.
Boy, could you get me that water skin over there?
While you guys are doing this, you see Havardr and Bivoj starting to put their armor on.
Let's make a pact with the creature if he will take the pact. If he will lead us to Bivoj's backpack and give it back to us, we will leave them in peace. And we swear we will not harm any of their people.
Otherwise, they will pay.
I will translate as best as I can. So, get our stuff back, and you are free to go, and we won't harm anyone.
No, he must lead us to Bivoj's backpack first, or at least have them come to us.
I relay the information as best as I can.
The creature responds. He says, "Make free, go get."
Tell him he's injured, and I at least would like to treat that injury a little bit.
Yeah, he will be more injured if they won't return my backpack.
Yeah, but he needs to be better. We need to help him so he can help us. Okay, tell him that.
As you guys are continuing the conversation, you now see Liber putting his armor on.
Yeah. I'm come back to them. I don't think we are getting this stuff back an easy way, because he at least wants to go free, and after that he promises to return with the stuff. He is not gonna return. So we have kind of conundrum here.
I stick my finger in his wound.
Thank you.
Put it on my face.
He snarls in pain.
Well,
and then in Ordur, he looks to Leonard, who he seems to believe understands him, and he says, "Bring you for make free."
Bring to us to make free, or that would be the translation.
What?
Bring you,
then make free.
Okay.
Not going alone.
So he's going to bring us to the backpack, and then we make him free, or?
I think he's just gonna bring Leonard. I think he only trusts Leonard, so he doesn't want us to go.
That ain't happening.
Well, I'll
Unless we
keep
follow.
washing his wound.
Bivoj is a tracker.
You notice, like, when you try to wash his wound, he shrinks away from you.
I suggest 2 or 3 people take this creature to go get the Bivoj's backpack, and the rest of us stay here.
I turn
Then
to
he
him.
can be set free.
I turn to him. I will go, but not alone.
He
Sarah,
says-
stop
says-
wasting water on that guy and give it to me to wash out Critter's wounds.
Yeah, I'll give the creature a drink of water, and then
It spits at you.
oh, yeah, just trying to
Fire
help,
creature.
man. Little rat.
It looks at Leonard, and it says, "No warband. Bring, and make free."
There's
I will-
nothing saying that someone can't follow from a distance, like someone
least
with a
I would s-
spyglass or something.
I pull Bivoj aside. If Leonard goes with the creature, can you track them?
I'll do my best. We
That
can
would
do
be
this.
more of a guarantee than that. How can we do this? Breadcrumbs, no, it's too dark. What can we do? I'm not smart enough to figure this out on my own.
As you guys are pondering this, you hear a shrill whistle that sounds like it's pretty far off to the north. It's like a loud whistle. It kind of sounds familiar. It sounds familiar to you, Bivoj.
I'll try to replicate that with my whistle.
You don't have your whistle.
Yes.
I had it on my neck.
Okay.
I always have it on my neck.
Okay. Well, if you have it on your neck, then you didn't hear that whistle.
Oh, okay.
I turn to the creature. How much of you is around here? Many or few?
He says, "Many pack."
How many in his pack?
It could be around. I don't know how much
Can we
of this
ask him?
work together. I ask, how much is the pack?
He looks around the camp for a moment, and then he says, "Many warbands, many pack."
Yeah, we can't fight him.
Can I see if he's? Can I? I can't really do it because I can't understand it. I was gonna see if I could like insight him, see if he's lying, or is he posturing?
Sure, make a wisdom roll under.
Oh no, I don't think that worked at all. Actually, no, I did. I forgot. I have a high wisdom. I rolled 4 under because I have 18 wisdom.
Okay, so as Leonard translates the response from the pet canny, you just, something doesn't add up. He seems to be like nervously looking around at all of you.
Mm-hmm. I look at Leonard and the rest of the party. Something's not right. He seems too scared to be. I think he's lying or posturing. It doesn't seem like it's adding up from what you've been translating.
Leonard, ask him if he knows in which direction there are more like us.
Interesting question. And I translate. Have you seen any more people like us around here?
You know what? I'm going to have you roll a d6.
Okay.
This is a linguistics thing.
4, so probably fail.
Okay, so you try to communicate what you're trying to communicate, but he seems confused.
Never mind, guys. I think I can't get it through.
Mm.
So, Okay, you said, Bane, that you had marked a spot with the trail?
Indeed. I think we should tie a rope around its neck and let it lead us home.
You struck it, there should be a blood trail.
Show me that.
Indeed. My arrow struck true.
If there is a blood trail, I can definitely track them.
Then we should be on our way before it dries up.
Yeah, I think we should take him with us and make a trail and see how nervous he will get. If Oldrad is correct, there will be just few of them, and we might get our stuff back for him. Is that so? Does it sound good?
We may do that. Maybe we could split, and there may be just small group going ahead along the trail, and then if the rest of you hear my whistle, you can sweep the area and take care of whatever is there.
Well, we can use the same trick that they did. Send one to make noise, and then send another that's more stealthy into the camp.
We need to locate their camp at first.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see how far the blood trail will take us, and then we can devise a plan.
if my assumptions are right, there may be gathering somewhere. Let's say it's a camp. If we send Leonard with the creature and maybe one more person with him, they may cause some ruckus on the way that you caught him to the side, and the others may come along the trail. Bane, if you show me the trail, we can be essentially flanking the so-called camp of theirs. We can attack from two sides, or we can lure them away from their camp. They may leave the stuff there. We may just find it and take it.
Well, I think we should let Leonard go ahead, and we should follow him on a flank, because this creature's got to understand that he and Leonard are going alone, so that he can trust to take Leonard with him. And then we follow in about 2-3 minutes, but on the sides. Leonard can have something that clanks on him so we can hear him.
I'll light my lantern so I will be seen for miles.
There you go. There you
Good.
go.
Good. We don't know what else is out in those woods, so we must stay together.
Couple points of clarification. Remember that it is midnight.
Yeah.
Remember that you have very little moonlight. And remember that Claude's dog is incapable of walking.
Perhaps we should wait till morning.
You guys can go. I can stay up here, tend the fire, tend critter, and you guys go and get and punish these animals.
I don't think we should break up.
Yeah.
Will Cure Light Wounds work on a dog?
It would work if you had your spells, but unfortunately your long rest was cut short, and you haven't made your prayers for your spells.
Doesn't the spells just last until you use them here in
Nope.
Lamentations?
He went to sleep.
Okay, Claude, hold the fort. Me and probably Bane will be tracking the trail, and the rest can deal with Leonard and the small creature.
I want at least one person ride with me, because I think that if I go alone, they will backstab me at the time I got too close.
Don't worry, you'll get 4.
Well, these guys seem to me like they would know this area and might figure being tracked or followed from a slight distance. So I'm not sure how well trying to be stealthy around them might work. I think this guy will guess that we'll be following him.
Yeah.
And he might even know enough common to have sort things out anyway.
If it's possible that there is not enough of them, and another one may be injured, I think that we can easily bet on the fact that splitting group in this way will give us at least some advantage. It's like hunting the prey, you know. You have to go around. You have to split your forces, and there have to be one that lures the prey towards you or away from you.
Leonard,
depending whether the prey is intelligent or not.
Leonard, why don't you tell him that you feel safer with one other with you, and I can go with you, and if he asks you why, I suggest you say, well, that's my mate, and then he'll understand why you want me with you. I don't know if he'll go for it, but
okay. I turn to him and point to her. Okay, so we will go. We will set you free if you lead us to the things, but this one goes with me.
Is this a great idea? The worth is like 5 or 6 of them when you get there.
It's better than
10.
It'll work out.
We won't be far behind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to make another D6 linguistics roll for that, because that's kind of a little bit of a complex series of instructions.
4 again, so probably.
So it seems to understand part of what you're saying, and it reiterates in the low tongue. Take, bring back, make free. So, what are you guys going to do?
Well, has he translated that?
I will repeat what I heard and think about the meaning.
Well, let's just go. You and I will start out with this creature.
I will turn to the creature and say, lead them.
Pause. I need to retcon something.
Okay.
So, Liber, how many spells did you have remaining?
I had just the one.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you still have the one, because apparently that your memorized spell, you have it until it's burned.
Okay.
But you can't recoup,
Right.
You can't prepare any new ones until you have a rest for 6 hours. So basically, after you cast this spell, you're out until you have a full rest. So you have one spell. Do you want to use it on the dog?
As a group, if we can make the trip as a group, then yes. What do you guys think? You follow along?
Yeah, you guys go as a group.
Critter might help.
Yeah,
with
definitely
finding the
do.
camp.
Definitely, Critter is valuable.
And anything you can do for Critter, I'll accept gladly, and I'll owe you.
I do that. I heal Critter. I say the prayers to try to get Critter to be back to full health.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So let's go ahead and do. So you take a minute and you ask the one true God to cure the dog. Go ahead and roll. See how many hit points you're able to return to the dog.
The D6, right?
Yeah.
Plus your level.
5 on the dice, plus 3.
Okay.
That's enough. That's the full health again.
You guys are in awe as once again Liber channels his faith, putting his hands over the wound of the dog, and before your eyes, the dog's wound seems to heal and close.
Oh my God.
Haven't you ever seen that?
Liber, thank you, and go and hug Liber.
Don't thank me. It's the one true God we should
thank the one true God.
As everybody's looking at, Liber heal the dog critter, you just see, because no one's looking at Oldrad. Oldrad just has a very dark look on his face.
You notice something when Liber does that to the dog. The prisoner, the Patkani, recoils. Like, he can't go anywhere because Oldrad is holding him and he's bound, but he just kind of shrinks away from Liber, and you see his eyes are wide with fear.
Leonard, convey to him that I want him to take us all to his group in a serious manner.
Oh, I don't think he will. But I'll try, and
I'm gonna stare at the creature as he says it.
And I tell. I would like the whole group.
All right, Patrick, make a charisma roll under.
Eight out of 11.
Okay, as Leonard communicates to the Patkani, and you're standing next to him, staring at the Patkani seems to understand Leonard and just nods.
Okay.
And then the Patkani says, that way. And he like with his head, he gestures to the north.
Okay. So, yeah, I just take my stuff and try to follow his directions.
Okay, so all of you at this point have put on your armor, gathered up your stuff, rolled up your bedrolls. The camp is packed up. By this time, I'll say, it's probably like 12:30 now.
I still want to keep track of the blood trail with Bivoj, and so that we know that we're being led the right way.
Well, so the direction that the thing ran off in is the direction that this Patkani prisoner is nodding for you to go in. So as you guys start to descend the north side of the hill, Bane, you find the spot where you saw the first blood splatter, and it seems to head off into the north.
So far,
how does the creature react to it?
Indifferently.
Do they have? Is their blood color different than ours?
No. Okay, so you have a couple options. Do you want to try to continue going where this Patkani tells you to go and keeping an eye out for blood splatter? Is that what you're doing? Or because whoever's trying to search for things absolutely needs a light source, and I need to know how many of you are carrying torches.
I'll carry a torch.
I can't carry a torch, then I can't use my bow.
I will definitely carry a torch and a spear.
Okay,
Well,
so
Torch,
I have
and I'm
Critter on a
holding-
leash. And
Okay.
I can see if he can track the blood trail by smell.
okay.
Torch, and I'm holding the thing.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 torches so far.
I'm not taking any weapon in hand so far. I'm just like trying to communicate that any direction he gives us.
Okay, well, he says to continue in this way.
Now remember, he's bound with a rope, so I give you the end of the rope. that
I
he's
got
bound.
it. I got him.
Oh, okay,
I got him.
good.
And
Okay.
I want to have my rapier drawn and walk alongside the creature and, finishing the kind of staring down at him just to make sure he's like knows that I'm watching him.
Okay. You notice he seems nervous that you're so close to him. All right, so couple things. I'm going to make a roll. So those of you who are at the front, so Bivoj and Bane, you guys are looking for the blood splatters, right? Go ahead and roll a d6 and tell me what you get.
2.
I got 3.
Okay, about 200 yards. As you guys are winding through these hills, you find another splatter. Bane, it seems like as recent as you might expect based on the amount of time that's passed. Like it's still, it's sticky, it's still liquid. And it seems to continue going north. Now, when I say going north, it's not a straight shot because you're in a hilly region. So it's kind of up and then around some hills, and it's kind of veering in and out of this hilly region.
Still, so far so good. It seems the creature's leading us in the correct direction.
I hope that the rest of those creatures value him more than our stuff.
As do I.
All right, so Bane and Bivoj, you continue kind of in the front. Oldrad, you're holding the prisoner, the binding of the prisoner. Leonard, you're walking next to Oldrad. Liber, you're on the other side of Oldrad, next to the prisoner. Claude, you and Sarah are in the back. And you guys continue. Claude and Sarah, I need each of you to roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
That's 7.
12.
Okay, so you guys, at a certain point, you travel 2 miles, and you're going pretty slowly because Bane and Bivoj are continuously looking for drops of blood, which, again, after about a half mile, you come across a little more blood. You go about 2 miles, going slowly, moving carefully, and you haven't found any blood, but the prisoner tells you to head across kind of more northeast from where you are. Do you want to follow the prisoner, or do you want to keep going north and looking for blood splatters?
I'll try to
Actually-
look for blood splatter or something that may indicate that those creatures come across this part.
Can we check if we believe him?
Sure. Roll a d20.
Did Critter pick up the scent of the blood trail?
He is walking next to you. He hasn't picked up any scent. When the guys in the front found blood, he went up and sniffed it, and then kind of continued walking next to you.
Okay.
Rolled an 11.
Okay. You don't think that he's being deceptive? The prisoner seems to know where he is. Like when he tells you that you need to head in this direction, he kind of looks off to the northeast. You notice that like he's looking around up at the hilltops, and like you passed by a tree that was in one of the ravines. He seems to know where he is.
Is he getting like more or less nervous?
No, he doesn't seem nervous.
I would say, interesting.
It basically comes down to if you guys want to continue going due north and trying to find a blood trail, or if you want to go more northeast, which is where he's suggesting you go.
I say we follow the creature.
Yeah, mark this spot and follow.
Yeah.
Command. Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna follow the creature. All right. Everybody make a D6 roll. Tell me what you get.
Hmm.
6.
5.
3.
I got 2.
Do I hear any ones?
There's not.
No.
Okay. You guys proceed winding through the low parts between the hills. You notice that the prisoner seems to guide you along the low areas, not up onto the hills.
Okay. I'm realizing something. Be prepared, because this looks like a good spot for an ambush.
Yep.
Looking around at the hills and looking up, and I got my bow at the ready.
I mean, there's enough moonlight where you could see like the outline of the hills, but you can't really see any details.
Yeah.
I'm going to point my rapier at him and ask Leonard to translate which is the correct way.
Translate. Is this correct way?
He says, yes, this way. Keep going.
I
Go ahead.
I say back. He says that it's correct way, and I'm kind of nervous myself.
How much of a detour would it take to go up one of the hills and look?
A couple minutes.
We can try spyglass, at least for moving shadows.
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
It
careful,
may-
because he might want to steal that.
Yeah, but we'll see. Okay, guys. You stay with the Leonard and with the creature, because he's the only one that seems to understand it. I will check the hill.
All right. Bivoj, you go up, you climb up the hill. You get to the top of this hill. It's just kind of a rocky hill with some shrubs, and you look around.
I'll try to listen and try to look around, try to find any possible weird noises or whatever that may alert me to the presence of anyone else.
Okay. You sit up there for a few minutes, and other than like some nocturnal birds, you don't really hear anything.
I'll return to the group and just relay that, like, there seems to be nothing out of ordinary, like no weirdness in the sounds of the night creatures and no sounds of any other humanoids. Either they are pretty far away or they misled us and they just led us far away from the place we were stationed.
Okay.
I'm a little bit reassured that we are not. Let's continue the spot and follow the instructions.
All right, you guys continue. The PacNW prisoner continues kind of leading you guys, sort of weaving between the hills along the low side. And about another mile up, you come across something. As you're walking, you see some stuff like on the ground up ahead. And as you approach it, you see a pile of chalk, candles, a bar of soap, and a little container of dried herbs.
Sounds familiar.
Bivoj, this looks like some of the contents of your backpack.
Okay, guys. I think that we are pretty close. Those look like mine. But where's the rest?
I turn to him and ask, where is the rest of the stuff?
He looks at the pile and he says, at camp is stuff. He looks at this pile of the small pile of some of Bivoj's things and he says, that trash.
Okay.
We should be getting close and let's spread out a little bit, maybe.
I will chuckle a little bit and translate to Bivoj what he said.
I think you're muted.
I will show him the trash. once we found my stuff.
So Bivoj, your chalk and candles and soap were basically thrown on the ground and then smashed. You can recover the wolf's bane if you want it.
Yeah, I want that.
Okay. All right.
What about the skin?
What about what?
The skin from the two-headed bear creature. You had that, right?
That wouldn't have fit in a backpack. That would have been rolled up.
Okay.
I would have to wear it with my other stuff, like with the bedrolls and other things.
Okay, you continue on following the PacNW's instructions.
Yep.
Walking carefully, trying to be alert, looking for clues, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Also.
And let's maybe keep a little bit of distance between ourselves in case they try to ambush us.
All right, how much is a little bit of distance, everybody? So 4 of you have torches. And those torches are about to run out in maybe another 30 minutes. How far apart are you each going from each other?
I want to be...
Six
go ahead.
6 to 9 feet.
I want to be able to see the people on either side of me.
Well, you've got like 20 feet radius of light from each torch.
Yeah.
I'd say every
About
10
that.
feet. Every 10.
Yeah, 10 sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll be about 10 feet to the rear of the group with my torch, kind of watching our back.
10 is good.
I want to pull out to the edge of the light towards one of the sides.
I'll be near the other side. I'm looking for caves.
Okay. You proceed, continuing along 2 more miles. And as you complete these other couple miles, the landscape becomes a little less hilly. You seem to have kind of emerged from the hilly area, and it just seems to be kind of an open prairie with tall grass.
I get another torch going.
Occasional trees.
I get a fresh torch.
Okay. It's about 3 in the morning by this time.
Yeah.
All right. The PacNW says he kind of gestures to the northeast across this prairie.
There?
I'll light my lantern instead of the torch.
Yeah.
This is a pretty long way from the camp. How did he even know we were there, if this is where they were staying?
Yet fire. Those are at night. Seeable.
Yeah, but it was just a small fire, and we have been going through several hills.
Well, they could probably smell us.
To give you guys an idea, and again, none of you have bushcraft, right? So I'm giving you estimates of how long you've traveled. You feel like you have traveled almost 5 miles. Maybe 6, you're not sure. You went a few miles north and then you kind of cut northeast.
They were out hunting, and they found us. So.
And they move pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
Scavenger party.
Yeah, I just want my stuff back. Little.
Martin, do you translate any of the party's questions or any of this discussion?
I don't think there is anything that would that the creature needs to know. So.
Okay. All right. He gestures to the northeast across this prairie.
Okay. How is it with light situation? Like, is it like?
Oldrad has lit 1 torch. Do you guys use up another torch?
Yeah.
I meant more if there is like some ambient light in the night.
No, dawn has not arrived. It's about 3 in the morning.
I'm thinking I turn to the party. Maybe waiting few hours, at least for the sun, might not be out of a bad idea. What do you think?
Ask him how close we are to the camp, like in time.
How far?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
I turn to him. How far?
He says across grass.
I say. He says across the grass.
The grass tall enough for his kind to hide in it?
Easily.
I'm searching around for anything in the grass.
Okay, guys, we may try one more thing. I think that we've marched long enough, and I kind of wanted to try this. And as I'm holding the torch,
Oh, no.
I'll try to make some room that we can stand in. Essentially, that would be only stepped on grass and whatever. And I try to walk around the tall grass and burn the rest.
2 problems. Number 1, everything is damp because it's nighttime and dew is collected, so none of this grass is going to burn. But also, this prairie extends for as far as you see.
Okay, this won't work.
Yeah, let's not light the whole prairie on fire, B-boy.
Next
I'm
time.
looking for anything that would resemble like a molehill. Dirt that's
Okay.
been pushed up from the ground.
Go ahead and roll a d6. Anybody who wants to search the vicinity that you're in.
1.
Bane. As you're kind of fanning out to search the area, you see a few droplets of blood. Looks as if it rushed past the grass. And you see ever so slightly, I don't want to say like a trail, but it looks like some of the grass in this area has been trampled. And you feel like maybe if you have some light, you might be able to follow whatever moved through this area.
I'll light my other torch.
Tried searching as well, and on one I think that I found the same thing.
Yeah, you see that looks like something small, about the same size as the PacNW. Looks like it passed through this area, and you have found sort of a trail. Interestingly enough, it's heading in the same direction that your prisoner told you to go.
Okay.
Perhaps we should just move.
Agreed. Great.
Keep going.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be lying to us at the moment, so maybe pick up the pace a little bit.
It's still
Agreed.
dark.
Yeah, there's really no way to pick up the pace. I mean, you can move along, but if Bane and Bivoj are trying to follow the path that was made here, you're gonna have to kind of go slowly.
Well,
Yeah. The ground is also pretty damp in this area, as if whenever it rained, it was saturated. Kind of like what you guys had experienced the previous few days.
Are there any obvious prints?
Along the path, you see a few, kind of deeper prints that match the size of the PacNW's feet and kind of like paws.
So let's keep an eye out for these prints and see if they deviate anywhere, and as we continue.
Okay.
Ask him if he knows about the four-armed bear and the cave up above where we were found, or where we found ourselves.
I think about it and then I translate. Have you seen any monsters around?
Aside from us.
Roll a d6 for me, Martin.
2. So
he looks at you and he says, monsters?
big creature.
He says, no monsters here.
I turn to Bane and say, at least from what he says, he seems to be a little bit confused about this question, but there doesn't.
I just wanted to cover all bases in case maybe he knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You guys continue following. Going northeast for another 2 miles.
Yeah.
And then I need you to make another D6 roll, Bivoj and Bane.
I got 4.
Bane, what'd you get?
Held up 2 fingers.
2.
Okay.
Sorry.
At a certain point, the prairie grass kind of opens up. There's like a bit of a clearing and a few trees. And when you get to this point, the prisoner tells you now to turn and to go this way. And he kind of gestures southeast.
Yeah. I turn to him and ask, "Are we close?"
He says, "Very close."
Would anyone from your or
He says, "Woods that way."
And yeah, I tried. I turned to my group. Do you think it would be a good idea to echo or shout out that we are here to the group?
We might scare off anything that's nearby.
Let's just wait until we can see a shelter of some kind or something, or a picket.
Okay. And I said that he pointed
Did I
me.
notice anything? The blood trail that I was following. Is it?
Well, you don't see any blood. Like, you don't see any droplets, and like when you enter this clearing, you see the tracks, and they seem to go kind of southeast across this clearing.
Okay, so it matches up what he's telling us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with follow. We can keep going then.
Okay.
Well, we'll be probably trying to look forward for some traces of a settlement or something that they could live in.
Okay, well, for right now, you have 30 feet of visibility from your torches, and you just see a big open clearing. And as you guys go about 100 yards to the southeast, you come across a few more things. You see, it looks like more of Bivoj's stuff has been dumped. You see a pouch that was in the backpack, and you see a bunch of iron spikes and wooden spikes that have been just dumped on the ground. And you see the backpack itself, which looks kind of torn.
Salvageable?
No, not really. It looks like it was like cut open and rooted through and then just dumped. What you don't see, I'm sorry, you also see a set of clothes. What you don't see, however, is the spyglass or the map that were in Bivoj's backpack.
We don't see those?
You don't.
Everyone
make a D6 roll.
Dang, lucky
One.
twos. 2.
4.
3.
3.
6.
4 again.
Liber, as everybody's kind of looking at Bivoj's stuff that was just haphazardly dumped, and determining that he's missing his map and his spyglass, you actually notice that there's other prints in the ground. And these prints look like humanoid sized. You notice that there are about 4 sets of prints that seem to be barefoot, like human-sized feet, but barefoot. And then you notice 1 set of prints that is obviously like hard boots. And that set of prints, that foot size is much bigger. It's kind of like Bane size. And you notice that these prints seem to be in the vicinity of where all this stuff was dumped out, and then they seem to go away towards the northwest.
I pointed at the footprints and said, "These, I think these creatures may be working for some people, or for some beings. They may be bringing the loot to somebody else."
Does our prisoner have humanoid feet?
No, well, first of all, they're small. The Patkani are only like 3 feet tall. They're kind of more elongated with like padded paws at the end, kind of like a rat.
Like rodent. Okay.
So
the foot trails don't belong to them. It looks like maybe what, children or adults or smaller humans?
No, they look like humans. Like barefoot humans. There were like 4 sets of barefoot human prints, and then 1 with boots.
Okay.
Is there any sign of struggle?
Hold on, Martin, go ahead.
I'll turn to our prisoner and ask, "Do you trade?"
He seems to understand you, and he's actually looking at what you guys are looking at, and he looks at you and he says, treasures offered for make safe. He says gift for make safe. Present.
Do you tell us that, Leonard?
Yeah, I'll translate that. They are probably small group manipulated by someone else.
You notice now he's kind of looking around the whole area, like looking all around the whole area.
I'll follow his gaze.
Darkness, open
right.
land and darkness.
Can you point to the footprints and ask how many?
I translate the question.
So you show him the footprints that you found, Liber?
Yeah.
Okay, as you bring him over and he sees these footprints, he kind of looks at all of them and he seems to be studying everything. And then he looks back at you, Martin, and he says, "Warband, must go, must go, must go." And he's looking around more nervously now.
Guys, there seems to be a warband in the surrounding. That's why he considered us a warband, and let's follow him as quickly as we can. I think.
Let's go.
Okay, Bo is ready.
He says stuff, and he looks at the pile of Bivoj's crap, and he's like, stuff. He says, make free. You guys hear him gesticulate or like barking out these guttural sounds in Ordur at Leonard.
Yeah, I translate or at least try to say few missing still.
He says, not here. He says, must go. He says, to trees, to woods.
Let's go.
I think the guys. I think he won't give us any more information, and I think that the rest of the stuff that traded to the warband, and we're not getting from them anymore from of it. Do we want to let him go? It's pointless to hold him now.
I put my spear down. I look at my stuff and take a deep breath. Let that small shit go as I hand my torch to, let's say, Bane. And I'm just waiting for you to let him go.
Not the one holding him. Who's holding him?
I'm holding him, and I'm gonna say again, we really need to go. Let's just go and stop messing around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let him go as well.
No, we're gonna go where he's got his people, and we're gonna get this stuff.
Yeah. I thought that he may lead us, but
The prisoner starts pulling in the direction where he wants to go. He like looks up at Oldrad and he says something to you in Ordur that you heard him say before when he was talking to Leonard. And he starts pulling and gesturing in the southeast direction.
I'm just gonna go that way. You guys can follow if you want. Just going.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay.
I'm just standing here.
I just grab my stuff, try to secure the backpack with the rope as much as I can.
Okay.
And I follow the small creature.
Okay.
All right. You cover another mile through this open area, and there's patches of tall grass and sparse trees. And then you get to a point where you see more trees. And he says, he looks at you, Leonard, and he says, close.
We are close to the forest, at least, what I understand. And yeah. So.
You see he's like looking around, and then he kind of tugs in another direction. You follow him a little bit more, and after another mile, you kind of arrive at the edge of a thicker forest. And for the span of your torchlight, it looks like this forest is deep. And you see he kind of looks around, and then he kind of pulls you a little bit along the forest line, and you go maybe another quarter mile, and then at a certain point he looks around and he says, there. And he gestures, and you see like two trees that like have long ago fallen, and they kind of collapsed, sort of forming like a little arch. And you don't really see anything other than those two trees and some bushes.
Tell him to call out. I say to Leonard.
Sorry, what?
Tell him to call his people out and give us our stuff so we can leave.
I turn to him. Call your people so we can let you leave. I try to as best as I can.
He nods. And in Ordur, you hear him bark off a few orders. Leonard, you hear him say, come out. Warband here. Pay gift. Make free. And then a few moments go by, and then you guys hear some kind of rustling, and emerging from beneath the fallen trees and the brushes, you see another Patkani come out, and you see that he's kind of like looking out suspiciously. And you notice that he has an arrow sticking into his side, but it's like snapped off. And the blood around his fur in that area seems kind of dry. And you notice as he comes out and looks at you, in Ordur, he says, why they here? And the other one says,
because of you.
Give stuff back. Leonard, are you translating this for the group?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. The one that came out says, have no stuff. Gave tribute.
I ask him who the other warband.
As you say this out loud, the one that emerged from the trees like looks shocked, and as if he seems to understand that you understand what he's saying. And he kind of creeps out more, a little closer. You notice that he's unarmed. He creeps out a little closer, and in Ordur, he says to you, he says, make free, friend. no more trouble, have no stuff, gave to Warband.
I turn to the group and say, they already paid tribute. The staff will not be here, even if we try. I don't think there is any point to hold him any longer.
Does he know where the other warband went?
Yeah. I start to get his restraints free as well.
And I say, do you know where the others are?
Where's other warband?
The wounded one, well, they're both wounded. The one with the arrow sticking out of him says, Warband Northwest, Hills. Northwest.
I translate.
Tell them how many.
I ask, how many of them were there?
He says, many, 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 many.
Were there more or less? And I point to the rest of the group.
He says, many, 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 many.
Way more than what we got.
Trouble.
It would be our group that we got separated from somehow.
Leonard, ask him if we can make camp until daylight.
I try ask, can we camp till daylight?
I've let that creature go.
Hey, untie my rope.
You did. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did.
You see, as you ask that about the camping, the one with the arrow looks like confused. He says, "Why camp make here? You go human."
We're human. When you ask we're humans?
Yeah, I answer. Yeah, very, very human after translating.
He goes, human, human. He points in two different directions. The sun's not out, so you don't even know where you are anymore.
Yeah,
I
reiterate that we have 3 hours till dawn. We only need a place to stay for a moment.
Yeah, I answer him, we need sunlight.
He says...
And I go like this.
He says, in Ordur, he says, human, human. He says, go through woods, human.
Okay. There are other humans through the woods, I say to the group.
We need some rest.
Well, sounds like they don't want us here.
Anyway. I think we should make camp anyway. Screw him. What's he going to do, stop us?
I wonder
Can we
how
help him
many
take the arrow out?
So just to be clear, you released the prisoner, right?
I did.
Okay, he kind of like limps over towards the other one, and you see him talk to the other one, like in a low whisper. And the other one shakes his head. And then the prisoner walks back to you guys, and he looks at Leonard, and he says, you, and he kind of points to your group. He says, you hunt Warband?
They have my stuff. Yes.
You translate?
I translate directly.
He says, no. No. Warband many, 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 many. You die.
Tell them we'll blend in.
He says, or do you translate that?
I don't think so. No. And I say that we will deal with that.
He says, okay. I go, my people. He says humans, woods, find humans. No good you hear now.
Okay. And is there like any opening to the woods? Something like...
He just points to the woods. He says, walk woods, find humans, or river.
Okay.
River take to humans.
Okay. I turned to the warband and I said, I would go a little deeper into the forest and made the camp till the morning.
Yeah, it sounds like they're afraid of being discovered, and they are pretty vulnerable. I wish I could at least remove that arrow. I know how to do it. I've done it to myself, but you know.
Let them tend to themselves. Let's get out of here.
Probably right.
I presume that they are going away.
Well,
for the night.
The prisoner's like looking at you still.
Leonard, tell them to run. Because I'm very pissed right now.
I turn to them and say, well, I would be out of, or I just say run, because I stumble upon my words and just, I wanted to say something like that.
He backs away carefully and goes over to the other one, and they look at each other, and then they go crawl under the bushes and under the two dead trees.
As they are going just away from our side, I will shoot an arrow at that direction, somewhat blindly, but just to scare them away, because I'm very pissed.
Okay.
Little fuckers.
Jeez, Bivoj, it's just stuff.
Yeah, I'll recount what's missing in the morning. If it's more than what I think it is, I'll be really pissed, and I'll find those creatures one day.
Okay.
Is
I think
your
we all
silver
need
gone as
more
well?
rest.
What's that, Claude?
Is your silver gone as well, Bivoj?
Yeah, everything that was in his backpack, other than the stuff that they dumped out on the ground.
Yeah.
So I think that only like the maps, spyglass, maybe I found a tinderbox inside the backpack, and I'll try to search for my gems and the rest of my money. I think that's not there. Yeah. Okay.
But you do have 5 iron spikes, 5 wooden spikes, a container of wolf's bane, and a shredded backpack.
This other warband is the first clue we've received since awakening. I say when light breaks, we pursue them.
I think also there might be some safer people through the forest.
Yeah.
You have to our first step, find a settlement.
And well, I don't think dealing with the warband will be an easy task.
Mm-hmm.
Well, provided that they're even hostile. I mean, we need to rest so we're thinking clearly.
Yeah, let's just go get out of here and rest so we can.
Tell me how far into the forest you would like to go.
I think we should stay right at the entrance. Because, I mean, why should we go farther from this place that we already know is fairly safe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's safe because there is no, visible structure here. So, We should
don't
make.
need fire. Well, it's only like 3 hours till daylight. We don't need a fire or anything. We just need
No
to
fire
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
I'm already pulling out my bedroll.
If those guys
They're
left,
like, I'm gonna plop
I'd say
down
we
right
stay here and finish up the night.
Well, then you guys set up your bedrolls. And
Yeah, I'll take off my armor.
who's going to take first watch?
No, it's third watch now.
None of you guys got a full rest.
no.
I will start with first. I got like 5-6 hours sleep already in. Before.
I'll sit on first with him.
All right, the rest of you are sleeping.
Yes.
Okay.
And taking a 1 hour
If I
watch.
stay up, would I be able to say any prayers and get any spells back at this point?
No. You have to sleep. Bivoj, let's see, not Bivoj. Let's do this. So, Leonard and Havardr, both of you roll a d20.
Come on, don't do this twice.
20.
And Martin, what'd you get?
19.
Okay, cool. All right, the rest of you go to sleep. It's pretty quiet. And you all awaken. The sun is bright overhead. There are mosquitoes and flies. You hear birds chirping in the woods. All of you feel very rested. And you're not quite sure how long you've been asleep. I'm going to roll a random roll to see who wakes up first. 1, 2, 3. Bane. You wake up feeling great, fully rested. Kind of look around, stretch out a little bit. You're trying to figure out, like, who was supposed to wake me up for watch? You see Havardr and Leonard dead asleep. Everybody else totally asleep.
start to wake them up.
Okay. Bane wakes all of you guys up. The sun is directly overhead. So you figure it's probably around noon.
Is there stuff all here?
Overslept.
All of your stuff is there. You notice that Critter is curled up next to Claude. None of your stuff seems to have been disturbed.
This is an unintentional long rest?
Yeah, the only two people who aren't like in their bedrolls are Leonard and Havardr. Each one of them is like leaning up against a tree, but they're totally asleep. Leonard and Havardr, you both are awakened by Bane, and you realize that you fell asleep on your watch.
Must have been some sorcery. Put us right to sleep.
And I will. First thing I do after waking up is check bags and.
Everybody has everything that they had the night before. But you are very hungry.
Hey, Bivoj, you want to go do some hunting? See what we can find?
Yeah, at least something small to my stomach.
Okay, does anyone have rations?
I have some left.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, if you have rations,
Last
minus
one.
off rations. If you don't have rations, raise your hand.
Is the bear from before already consumed?
You have a little bit of the dried meat. That's it.
So, other than this, then nothing.
Other than the meat, yes.
Okay, So those of you who have some of the dried meat, you eat that, or you eat your rations. And you just see kind of now more clearly that you're in this like meadow adjacent to a big forest. And after you have your rations and relieve yourselves and pack up all your stuff, you kind of figure out roughly what direction you are in terms of where north is. So where do you guys want to go?
Before we leave, though.
Okay. Yep. You take some time to do your prayers.
Do we still see those 2 trees? The arch?
Yeah.
I still want to go hunting.
Ready for us?
Yeah, why not? I'll do it.
I wonder how much meat those Pat Connie have on them.
I don't want to eat what they eat.
No,
I'm gonna go out.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go hunt some.
Oldrad goes off into the forest, presumably to relieve himself. Sarah, you go hunt. Roll a d6 for me.
6.
Okay.
Nothing.
You are out for I don't know, an hour. Liber, you complete your prayers. What are Claude and Leonard and Havardr and Bivoj and Bane going to be doing? Let's go in order. Claude.
Yeah. I don't, but Claude might know. If there's normally church bells at noon, and if
you don't hear any church bells.
Oh, but yeah, if it's normal to ring them, I'd say try and listen for if we can hear any.
Sounds of the prairie, sounds of the forest.
Yeah. And just snuggling up with Critter, being thankful he's still around.
Okay. Havardr.
I will go foraging.
All right.
In the forest. 6.
You don't find anything edible whatsoever. Leonard.
Yeah, I basically want to turn to Bivoj primarily and say, so we have probably 2 options, and I agree that we should find a way to get your stuff back, but also there seems to be other less hostile humans than those who have your stuff. Do you think it would be preferable to find those humans first?
Well, we should find at least someone. I will see then if I quench my thirst for good old revenge or not. Like, I really want my stuff back.
I understand. Since you had spyglass and I will probably.
They took both of my maps and the spyglass, and even the tinderbox. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say between the 2 directions that those creatures pointed at, I'd say heading for the direction that's closest to the direction where we probably think that the warband was heading towards or was sitting in.
Interesting thought. So the previous night, when the Pat Connie had gestured, he kind of, you're looking at where he was standing, and he kind of put his arms out in both directions. He kind of pointed northeast and southeast, both of which lead through the woods. But when Liber discovered those tracks in the meadow a few miles back, that was more north. And that was west of where you guys are, several miles.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to try to track those tracks, you'd have to navigate yourselves back to the clearing in the tall grass.
Mm-hmm.
Should be going back a few miles west the way that you came.
Yeah.
Both settlements, though, are kind of away from the warband. So they're saying, but when the northwestern would probably be closer.
No, so northeast or southeast is where the PacNW pointed towards humans.
The warband went north, right?
The warband
as far as
looked like those tracks were going north, but that was several miles west of where you guys are now.
Oh. So if we go to the north,
I don't want to go back that way.
Anyway.
So actually make a wisdom roll, Liber.
Seven.
Okay. Something strange is occurring to you. It occurs to you that when Leonard translated what the PacNW was saying, when the PacNW was gesturing out, the PacNW specifically said humans and gestured out northeast, southeast through the woods. That wording was not used in description of the warband.
Mm-hmm.
And when you saw those tracks heading north from where you guys were, several miles to the west of here, that doesn't seem to line up with the directions where the PacNW were indicating humans. And I will leave everybody with that thought and the question as we settle on that tiny little cliffhanger. We'll find out where the party goes in the next episode of the Lamenters. Thanks as always for tuning in, for liking and subscribing. We will see you next time. Peace out.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bilalen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.